Yep, still at TIFF. Okay, so I was at the world premiere of Taika Waititi's latest film, Next Goal Wins, and it's a movie. So this movie has had quite a troubled past, as a lot of people know. This movie was supposed to come out years ago, but there was multiple delays for various reasons, most notably COVID and Army Hammer. So to say that I have finally seen with my own eyes Next Goal Wins is a little surreal moment, so let's just take a moment right now to appreciate that. But yeah, I saw it, and I don't know, it's not that great, albeit it's like pretty watchable. So to set the scene of how I felt going into this movie, my expectations have been lowered dramatically. Just with every single delay it had, my expectations have gone down, and my excitement for it has gone down. But having said that, I know a lot of people are probably out for Taika Waititi right now. I think a lot of people are just kind of off him. So I was like, you know what, I'm give this a fair shot like I always try to do, and I think I'll come away just laughing a little bit, and I think it'll be a good time. And the opening scene of this movie, I said to myself, oh no, because if this movie is going to go the way that this opening scene is going, I am in for a really rough time. Now thankfully it eventually shut off that opening scene, but even still it took a while for this movie to find its footing. It was just very jumbled and messy and extremely unfocused. And when you combine that with Waititi's humor, which is hit or miss, sometimes there is genuinely funny moments in here. He is a funny, charismatic dude, but also there are some misses. It just feels like it stalls the movie because it has to set up a decent amount. It has to show the history of the soccer team in American Samoa. It has to show the team in their present state as they are now. And it has to show Michael Fassbender's character and his history and situation. So you combine all of that, and like I said, you mix in that humor, and it's just like, yo, can we stop? And look, for what it's worth, this is based on a true story. I don't know the story. I haven't seen the documentary, nor can I call myself a fan of the American Samoa soccer team, so I can't judge what did or didn't happen, because I know some people are talking about that and having problems with it. I really can't judge. But to me, the most frustrating part about this movie is that, like I mentioned, eventually this movie does find its footing, and it's pretty good, and I'll talk about that later. But right at the emotional climax of the movie, it completely checks out, because as you're rooting for this movie and as you're really invested in it, the movie's climactic moment is told in the third person, and I cannot for the life of me understand why that choice was made outside of just what happens in the movie. I won't spoil anything. It completely took me out, and all the momentum it built, all the momentum, all the emotional investment that I felt, it was just gone. All sense of emotion and tension went out the window when that scene happened, because leading up to that, the audience that I was with, including kind of myself, was pretty into it. I mean, the audience was cheering. They were going crazy. I actually felt that cathartic moment. And then that moment happened where it goes into the third person, and I just sat back in my seat. I'm like, yo, why did we do this? But also, you know, on the other side, the performances are good. Michael Fassbender gives a good performance. I mean, really everyone on the American Samoa Island and the soccer team gives a great performance, Kaimana especially. And to the point that I mentioned earlier, there was that moment where it sustained that true crowd-pleasing moment, that kind of energy, the feeling you get when you're watching a sports movie and you're invested. This movie definitely has that. And like I mentioned, the framing of this movie sometimes just doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. But look, if you're a fan of this channel, you know me by now. What do I always emphasize? Is it watchable? Am I bored? Do I want to leave this movie immediately? Am I checking my watch? And trust me, there have been some movies here where I have been checking my fucking watch. The answer is no, because at the end of the day, this is still a very watchable movie. I was not dreadfully bored by this movie at all. Like I said, the audience I was with completely ate it up. To me, this is an average movie at best, and now I am officially concerned with what Taika Waititi is doing, because I think his humor and his style is starting to grade people the wrong way. I was personally willing to give him a pass on some things, but I'm starting to feel it now. It certainly has its moments, but it also definitely has its lows as well. Next Goal Wins, 2.5 stars. Not good, but also average at the same time. I don't know. What do I know? I'm really just a tired man here in Toronto. I'm going to eat a snack now. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one.